Hello world, my name is Santi, I'm a polyglot, and this is the Santiglot channel. Alright guys, so in this series I'm gonna be teaching you a lot of new vocabulary in Chinese so you guys can reach that juicy advanced level. So without further ado, let's get started. 我们开始了。Alright, so what do we have here? We have three new words. Three new words we are going to be looking at. So let's see what do they mean. Okay, so first we have 可见, which means 可以看出. Basically, you can tell. This one is actually pretty easy to understand, right? Because it literally means 可, to be able to, and 见, see. So you are able to see. You can tell. And normally we can translate it as obviously, or it is obvious that, etc. So this one is pretty easy. Let's continue. 住院. This one means to be in a hospital, to be hospitalized. And then we have 诊断, which means to diagnose. Also, it can be a noun, so that would be diagnosis. Okay, so now let's read our example sentence. Okay, so 他已经住院好几天了，医治什么？诊断不出，是什么问题啊？可见情况不太好。Okay, pretty easy, right? So 他已经住院好几天了。He has already been hospitalized for quite a few days. 医治诊断不出。So 诊断, do we remember what it means? It means to diagnose. So all along, the doctors, we assume, haven't been able to basically diagnose what the problem is, right? So 医治诊断不出是什么问题？不出 basically means that they haven't been able to, right? So they haven't been able to diagnose. Okay. 可见情况不太好. Okay. It's obvious, or you can see that the situation is not really good. It's not too good, right? So, I mean, poor patient. But yeah, that's pretty much the idea. Let's go over the new vocabulary. We have 可见, 可以看出, which means it is obvious that, etc., or you can tell that, yada yada. Next one, 住院, to be hospitalized, to be in a hospital. And the final word, the last word is 诊断, which means to diagnose, or it can be the noun as well, diagnosis. Okay, so what do we have here? We have a new word, which is 端. Okay, 端 means to hold, right? So here we have two different example sentences. So we have 他手上端了2杯茶. Okay, and we have 端着一碗饭. Okay, 端着一碗饭. So what does this mean? Okay, so 他手上, he in his hand, 端了, held or is holding now, 2杯茶, 2 cups of tea, alright? So he's holding them. Nice. Let's see the other one. 端着一碗饭. Okay. We have the translation here, yeah. So holding a bowl of rice. Holding a bowl of rice. Here, as we can see, we have the 之, which indicates that something is ongoing. It's a sort of present continuous we use in Chinese. So 端着一碗饭 holding a bowl of rice. Easy, right? Let's move to the next one. Alright, so in these new sentences, what do we have? We have 搓糖, okay, and some others. So let's check them out. Okay, what do we have here? 搓糖means basically to drag out a lesson or to make students stay overtime in class, right? So that's 拖堂. Then we also have 换学, which means chemistry or a chemical. 实验, experiment, test. Here together, at least in the context we are going to be seeing it, basically means chemistry lab class, right? Like it's practical. What else do we have? We have 扬长, which means to extend. Alright, so now let's take a look at these two sentences. First one, 今天老师搓糖了. Okay, 今天老师搓糖了. Okay, so in here it just means today the teacher make the students stay overtime, right? So this one is pretty easy. Let's move to the second one. 我最后一节课是化学实验，而且常常搓糖. Okay, so this pretty much means the last class is the chemistry lab class. And 常常, usually, this one tends to drag out, right? Like normally we have to be there overtime. Alright, so this one is a very useful one, especially if you're a student, right? This is going to be extremely important for you to know, right? 拖糖. Okay, let's see the translation in Chinese, the explanation in Chinese of this word. So 拖糖的意思就是延长上课的时间. Okay, here we have the new word 延长 to extend what? Class 上课的时间. Okay, so we are extending the time we spend in class. Alright, so let's go over the new vocabulary. 拖糖, 化学, 实验, 化学实验, 延长. Alright, let's see the next one. Alright, so in this one, we have one new word, which is 曲直. Okay, we have it here. What does it mean? Well, 曲直 means 委屈、复杂的、不顺当的情节. Alright, so basically it means complicated. It means to be complicated, and in a more literal sense, it means winding, right? Sort of tortuous, right? And let's see the other words we have here. 委屈, which means full of details of story, very complex. Okay, so here we are describing story. And also we have 顺当, which means to go smoothly. Alright, so let's go back to our example sentences and let's see what they are about. Okay, 他说那是一个非常曲直复杂的故事. Alright, so he said, or he says that is a very complex and full of details kind of story. Okay, a very complex story. Okay, that one is a more metaphorical kind of meaning of 曲折. Now here, what do we have here? 一条曲折的小路. Okay, so here, as you can see, this is more literal. We're talking about a 小路, a small road. So this is a very, this is a complicated, not complicated, winding. It goes like this, right? This 小路. Okay, so a very winding, small road. And let's read the last one. 这件事情里面还有不少什么曲折. So basically, it is saying that this issue, this topic, 事情, okay, this topic, this issue, inside of it, there's still a lot of complications. There's a lot of things we have to deal with, and we have to sort of not necessarily do anything about it, but it's basically saying that this topic still has a lot of things that are difficult, and we have to basically deal with them, I guess. It very much depends on the context, but that's all, I think. So let's go back to the pronunciation of the new words we have studied. 曲折, complicated, winding. 复杂, complicated. That's a pretty easy word, actually. 委屈 means something devious, full of details if we're talking about the story. And the last one, to go smoothly, 顺当. Alright, so what do we have now? We have quite a few new words here. We have 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5. We have actually 5 new words we're going to be looking at. So let's take a look. Alright, here we have the definitions of the new words. Alright, so the first one, 事先, okay, which means 事情发生之前. Okay, in advance. This just means in advance. It's an adverb, alright? In advance. Before things happen. In advance. Okay, then we have 预约. Okay, 预先约定时间. To make a reservation. Okay, to make an appointment. To make a reservation. Alright, so that's pretty easy. Then we have 迟迟, which means late, in the sense that you are late in doing something. Slow. And the cherry of the cake is 万言玉穿. Okay, 万言玉穿, which is a 成语. Okay, so a very interesting one. This one describes someone who is anxiously waiting for someone to come back. Okay, so you basically to anxiously be awaiting. Okay, to anxiously await someone. Okay, let's go back to our example sentences and see how these words work. So we have here, 你应该事先打电话预约. Okay, so you should, 你应该事先 in advance 打电话预约. Alright, so you should make a call in advance to make a reservation, to make an appointment. Okay, in advance, to make a call in advance to make a reservation. Okay, pretty easy, right? Yeah. Okay, let's continue. 过了预约时间了. 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 Okay, so our time, our reservation time has passed. All right, we reserved maybe a restaurant or something, and that time we had for ourselves, now it's gone. It has passed, right? So let's continue reading. 他还迟迟不到，害得大家万言欲穿。Okay, so what do we have here? Well, okay, so he's still late. He hasn't arrived yet. And that's producing, okay, that's making people, 大家, actually everyone, is making everyone 万言欲穿, is making everyone feel anxious. They want that person to come, right? To finally arrive. So that's the idea. Let's go back to the new vocabulary and let's check it out once again. So we have 事先, okay, to do something in advance. 预约, to make an appointment, a reservation. 迟迟, to be late, or slow. It depends on the context. And finally, our 成语. So we have 望眼欲穿, which means to anxiously await someone. Alright guys, so that's all for this video. If you found the information in this video useful, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. Also, leave a comment below so we can get to communicate. And if you want to join my live streams, just go and follow me on Twitch. And that way we can actually get to talk there. And that's pretty much all, so bye, see you around guys.